Hey everyone, we've started back to school, or at least if you haven't already, you probably will be soon. And you're probably already thinking about homework stress. I know that's the first thing that came to my mind when my kids went back. We were really excited to go back, but I was not looking forward to all the homework stress, especially when you have kids in multiple grades and some of them are taking harder classes. So I've got some tips for you that have helped my family. I've got six kids all the way from fourth grade up until college level. So we've definitely had some homework challenges along the way, but we have found some things that have helped and made it a lot easier and definitely reduced our stress level. The first thing I'm going to recommend is have a designated homework spot. And this is probably not for the reason that you think. Yes, it's nice to have all your stuff set up and everything and know where you're going to be working and have a set place. But this is to help your sanity because the next day, when your kids go looking for their homework and they can't remember where they put it, if you have a homework spot and they actually use it, chances are it's in your homework spot. So this is like a huge time saver for us, at least in the mornings. It is nice having all your stuff there and having everything in one place so kids don't have to go looking for things. But the biggest help has been that next day when kids can't find where they put their homework. If they are consistently using that homework spot, you know where they've put it. Okay, the next tip I have, and this is something I use working from home as well, is set aside time blocks. Now, you can definitely set aside a schedule hour by hour after school that usually lasts for about 2 days before everybody gets burned out and doesn't wanna do it anymore, right? So, time blocking, what you do is you take a chunk of time and you say, "These are the things I'm gonna do during this chunk of time," not hour by hour, just like a before dinner time block and maybe an after dinner time block. When I'm working from home, I have a before lunch actually, I have a before kids go to school block, then I have a kids at school till lunch block, and then an after lunch block, and then an after kids get home from school. And I kind of know what kind of things I wanna get done in each of those blocks. So I set aside the tasks that require the most focus in the morning when I'm more alert. And then things that are more routine or something, I schedule for that after lunch block when I know that I'm not going to be quite as focused. And you can do the same thing with kids. Right when they get home from school, they probably don't want to jump in and do their homework right away. So if you set aside that block for after school snacks or activities and whatever else you have going on, and maybe you schedule another block a little bit later in the day, for your homework time, but you can kind of get into a routine even though it's not a set hour by hour thing. You get used to doing certain things first and then everything else second. That can really help just organize thoughts in your brain too, so the kids are ready to go by the time it's time for their homework block. The other thing we like to do is sometimes homework is just hard because the skills are hard. Maybe your kids need to brush up after being away for the summer. Maybe that task, maybe that skill is just something they missed the previous school year or just something that was hard. You're not going to have much success on the homework until they brush up on those skills and understand the concepts. One thing my family likes to do is use something called study.com. And it's a subscription service. It's an online learning platform that you can go in and you can choose a course by grade level and by subject and do the course from start to finish. And this was great when we were homeschooling. We would actually use this as part of our homeschool curriculum. Or if you just need to brush up on a skill or get some help with your homework, you can search a specific topic and maybe just go through that section on the course. And they have really engaging videos for each topic and then quizzes afterwards to make sure kids understand the material. My kids like to describe it, it's like YouTube, but all kid friendly learning videos. So you don't have to worry about them coming across anything that's questionable or anything like that, but they have some great content, especially for high school age. I've really been impressed with the high school content, which is great because my boys are taking harder classes this year, and I can't always help them if they come to me and they have a question on their homework. I didn't take calculus in high school, so if they ask a calculus question, I can't really help them very much with that. But what we can do is search that specific topic on study.com, and they can watch those videos that will explain the topic to them and the skills to them step by step so that it becomes a lot more manageable. And so it's been a great source of homework help for us. And it has really decreased the amount of homework stress that we've had overall, especially since kids are understanding the concepts better. Now, if you want to try it out for yourself, you can use the link below this video and you'll get 30% off your first 3 months. So it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you just want to get off on the right foot for the new school year. It's been so helpful for us because there's just so much content on there and we've been able to find something for every subject my kids have struggled with. Okay, the next tip is kind of one that you're probably already doing, but make sure there's food involved with homework sessions. Kids come home from school hungry, they're tired, they're not going to do their homework well if they're hungry. I don't work well if I'm hungry. So make sure you've got some good snacks there. Try and stay away from the straight sugar snacks because they're going to crash and burn pretty quickly and they won't make it all the way through their homework. But even if having snacks while you do your homework, I feel like that helps some kids focus a lot better too if they can kind of be doing two things at once. This last tip is also one that I use while I'm working from home, and it's called body doubling. If you haven't heard that term before, it basically runs on the idea that you work better if somebody is working alongside with you, even if you're both working on independent tasks. You think about that with, like if I'm cleaning my house, I am a lot more motivated if I'm watching somebody else clean too, and we're both working towards a goal of our own or something like that. But you see somebody else working, and it can really help you stay on track. You're a lot less likely to get sidetracked if somebody's sitting right there and they're working. And you can do this in a couple of ways. One, you can work on a project, an unrelated project next to your child while they're doing their homework. You can have siblings sit and work next to each other on their unrelated projects. Or if you go on YouTube and search study with me, this is primarily for older kids, probably younger kids might not do very well with this one. But if you search study with me, you'll come up with all kinds of videos that are body doubling videos. And it's just people recording themselves working at their desk. There's all kinds of sounds and scenery, and they play music with it usually, and they usually have a countdown. A lot of times they'll have the Pomodoro method, so they'll work for 45 minutes and take a 15-minute break, or they'll work for 20 minutes and take a 5-minute break, depending on the time that they want to use. But it can be a great way to keep, especially for kids with ADHD, it can be a great way to stay on task. If you just have somebody physically there, it's a lot harder to get sidetracked. So hopefully those tips help. We've got some links for you for some of these resources in the comments below. But good luck with this new school year, and hopefully some of these tips will relieve a little bit of that homework stress.